To another Coaches Weekly, joined by men's head coach Brad Callahan. I'm Reagan Espinoza with Sports Information at CUC. Let's recap from this past weekend. Coming off of 2 losses this weekend versus University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point and Eureka College, what are some positive takeaways and what can be fixed?
I think the biggest thing that needs to be fixed is just tactical adjustments with the guys. I think we've gone over them, but just actually doing it in the game can be difficult, I think, when you're in the moment. So like I was telling our grad assistant, I was saying, I think if I were to give them a test on paper, they'd get the questions all right. But I think in the split moments, in the speed of a soccer game, sometimes these things haven't, they're not habitual yet. And so I think, technical skill takes a long time to develop. But I think the things we can do, defensive organization, marking, keeping track of the men, talking, those sort of things can be faster fixes. So making sure we do those things are going to be important.
No, yeah, definitely. So with that being said, with the first conference game coming up versus Rockford, what is your mindset coming into that game for the team?
Our last game was Saturday, so we had 3 days off, Sunday, and then we have practice today and tomorrow. So we had a lot of guys out against Eureka. So I think just getting everybody healthy. Unfortunately, we had a lot of guys from last year who weren't academically eligible and other guys who didn't come back for various reasons. So I think our schedule was a little bit heavy when we scheduled the games, and then the numbers were a little lighter. So we've definitely, they've had a harder workload on their legs. So I think just getting them healthy, getting them ready to go, and then kind of just going over some of that tactical stuff and making sure as a team we're on the same page.
So with the tactical issue and kind of forming that, what are the new changes going into the next few games?
I think shifting on defense is a big one, how we shift, communication on defense. I think sometimes our back line will get a little too high and step, and if they get beat, then they're in behind us, where we need to let the midfield recover, and the defenders need to contain and let the midfield recover. And then I also think just decision making. We've done some film sessions, and again, I think they really understand it in the film, but in the run of the game, it's maybe not habitual yet. But just some of the decision making, we'll play a ball in our defensive half up the middle to a guy who has defenders on him. Meanwhile, there'll be somebody wide open on the wing. So I think just making sure we're scanning, and this is stuff that, again, it's easier said than done. If you ever, I don't know if you've ever seen like the software, like the Premier League, they'll track how many times the center mid scans, and then they'll do the same. They'll compare it to like in the 4th division in England, how many times that center mid scans. And you can see that in the Premier League, it's just a lot higher. And that's just literally just turning your head. And so it's nothing like super, but again, it's just that habitually looking and getting in the habit of doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that many of the players were out because of injuries. So following from the non-conference games, the other teams have had a same record as you guys. So how do you think to use that to your advantage?
Because you're saying we've had the same number. I think we've had more games maybe. I'm not sure. I definitely think our guys have gotten a lot more minutes because we don't have as deep of a roster. And just I know comparing our schedule this year to last year, we had 1 extra scrimmage and 2 extra pre-conference games. So that's what I was kind of saying. I think some of the numbers weren't there that we were expecting to be there. And so that's been tough. But yeah, I think the guys just, possessing the ball is going to be key. I think making smart decisions. I think the games have been up and down the field a lot. And for example, I think when, let's say like a wing mid takes somebody on one-on-one, if they lose it and they get beat, then everybody's sprinting back. And so I think instead of taking somebody one-on-one, at that point, does he have options to pass? Can we possess the ball and play a simpler option? Can the guys off the ball move a little bit more because they're going to end up moving a lot more if they have to track back on defense? So I would say more possession. And then I think the guys just also have to have a tough mindset of just liking seeing themselves in a tougher way and just kind of being like, hey, we're tougher than everybody else, and we really take pride in that.
Yeah, so leading back into the Rockford game, so what do you see yourself doing and portraying on that field? Like, what do you think their weaknesses are, and how are you guys going to use that as in your advantage?
I think just really identifying the space. If they're playing a high line, can we make the smart decisions and adapt and play in behind? If they're sitting back, can we start further back and then check into the space and receive the ball there. So I think just really reading the game real time and adapting. I think sometimes players will be too focused on a system. And I think, if you ever listen to higher level coaches, or like, I think it's all just sort of more for the commentators, the systems. And I think, if you're playing a 4-4-2, a 4-3-3, a 3-5-2, you're going to have, those are just kind of general guidelines, and you're going to have to adapt where the spaces are around you. You're going to have to adapt to how the other team's playing on defense, and you're going to have to keep turning your head and seeing where your teammates are and giving different options. And so I think when I see a team and it's very clear to me what formation they're playing, it means they're not moving and switching a lot, and that's usually not as good of a team. Where if I watch a team play and I go, wow, they're moving in and out and overlapping and checking two, and people getting in behind, and I can't tell if he's a forward or a center mid, and I think those are the better teams. A lot of movement off the ball and just constantly working to get on the ball, working to possess the ball forward. So I would sort of answer your question. I would just say reading the game real time, adapting within it.
Yeah, and then with those players that are coming back from off injuries, are they going to be set to go versus Rockford in that game?
I hope so. I think everybody should. I know some of the stuff was just very tight legs to the point where they were scared they were going to pull a hamstring. I'll have to check in with athletic training to see on a couple of them, but I hope that most of them will be back.
And then lastly, what is your mindset going in to secure a spot for the NCAA tournament?
I think at this point with our preseason record, we probably have to win conference, to be honest. So for the NCAA tournament, yeah, we probably have to win conference. Which I think our guys, I've seen us, I think sometimes, I don't know if we play at the level of our competition. I don't want to say that. I think that's an overstatement. But I think we can play very good against very good teams, and we can not play as good against teams that aren't as good. And so I think just always playing to the best of our ability and making sure we have that mindset is important against whoever we're playing.
Awesome. Yeah, as I bring this interview to the close, I just want to thank you for coming on this Coaches Weekly and wish you luck against Rockford.
Thank you.
And a potential win. You can find CUC Sports Men's Soccer on CU Cougars or sports information here on YouTube. I'm Reagan Espinoza, and I wish you guys luck.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in Cougar Stadium with the Cougars to see what they can do against this team, against MSOE. As always, I would like to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. So, going into this game, MSOE has actually a 2-game winning streak, and the Cougars have actually been struggling a little bit with their 5-game losing streak. I am here joined by Reagan Espinoza Suarez. Thank you very much. What is your opinion on the beginning of this game?
You know, I'm just excited to see where it goes. I feel like, especially with conference, each team wants to win. And even though CUC hasn't had the best start, there's still that drive and energy that we should see in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that we have a pretty good lineup. I will actually say it right after we get this game going. And we are on our way. The Cougars passing it back straight over to the defense. So our starting lineup will consist of Juan Moresco, Justin Ocampo, Isaac Hernandez, Caleb Kale, Asiel Castañeda, Bernardo Delgado, Daniel Gutierrez, Giovanni Lechuga, Giovanni Velasquez, Michael Senesi, and Nathan Gudiel. So on the MSOE side, we see Chase Freya, Michael Rarman, Austin Killen, Nico Pica. We see as well Danny Aranda, Dieter Useni, Tenor Cielo, Peter Yale, Juan Pablo Escobar, Adrian Manchado, and Asher Harris. So MSOE look to pressure up top. They have a good opportunity here, but it's offside. That's something that the Cougars are going to have to try to maintain that line so that any player that tries to go in a through ball, it ends up being offside. What do you think are the key points for this Cougars team to win?
I think definitely talking to Coach Callahan, it's definitely getting that transition back in the midfield and just knowing how to work around it and keep going. And we also noticed that Gio Velasquez is playing, I believe, midfield when in regular games he is a center back. So that is an interesting change to the roster.
Yeah, for real. With Giovanni Velasquez, he's a player that's very versatile when it comes to being in defense. He's occasionally played up top, but usually plays more as a center back role. In this game, Coach Callahan is going to want to exploit his abilities in the midfield. He has played that in the past. It's not his preferred position, but he does do a good job. He has a very good pass. Here comes a long ball. This could be the first opportunity for the Cougars, but there seems to be it should be a foul, I believe. That was a great opportunity there for Bernardo Delgado, one of the players that has been very important in these last few games. In this season overall, he has been a key player. Another one of the key players that I want to point out is Michael Senesi, top goal scorer on the team, 6 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. He's one of those players that is very young. He's still only a sophomore, but has a lot of potential to become one of those players that teams build in their entire structure around. Comes a long ball to the wing. He's going to try to take it, but the defender does well to get in front of it, clears it. It's going to be a throw-in. A lot of defenders. They're very much parking the bus at this moment. It's going to be a cross. The defender does well to take it out, but then they have another opportunity. It's very early on. This could be a shot. And it doesn't go anywhere too much. It's being cleared, and now it's MSOE's ball. It's going to be a throw-in. The goalkeeper has it, looking to find options in his defense. Have a lot of space. Cougars aren't really pushing up. They're staying more closer to the midfield, closer to their area. It's a long through ball. He's not offside. There's an opportunity here, but the defense gets it. Now here has it Gio Velasquez. He doesn't get a great touch on it. Here's MSOE with the opportunity. It's very back and forth, a lot of recovery from both sides.
Yeah, we could see the Cougars defense just kind of like holding back and kind of like creating that line of frontation so MSOE can kind of drag at them and take that shot.
Yeah, one thing that the Cougars are really going to have to watch out for is any of those through balls or any of those long shots, because although although Guriel is a fantastic goalkeeper, you never know what can happen with those long shots. See the transition, looks for an open space, doesn't find it, leaves it here for his teammate.
The Cougars are doing a great job just allowing them to play back and just pressing on their attack.
Yeah, the defense is very locked in right now. They have a lot of players in that line that this could be an opportunity. There's a cross, but like I said, there is absolutely no spaces that the Cougars leave in that back line. Get over to Manchado, looks for a opportunity, doesn't get it. Looking for a possible through ball down the wing. This could be an opportunity, gets across, but there's the defender to block it. It's going to be a throw-in. He's going to probably look to get an opportunity in the box. Now it could be for a cross, and that is a foul. But apparently seems to be that the ball had already gone over the line. Nathan Guriel gets the ball. He's about to clear it, hoping to find someone up top that gets on a counter attack. Cougars taking control of the game, trying to keep possession as much as possible. Not a great touch, and the ball is now a throw-in for MSOE. Another throw-in for the Cougars this time. Find it interesting how they are not really pushing up, which tells me that they're probably going to try to look for a more counter-attacking style of play during this match. And it makes sense given that MSOE also seems to have a very good control of the ball. They're trying to overwhelm the Cougars, and it seems to not really be working because the Cougars are very calm. They try to control the ball as much as possible, some missed touches, but overall, it's a very slow start to the game.
No, yeah, exactly. And it seems like even when they do try to confuse the Cougars, that the Cougars are on their touch every single time.
It's a long ball, but the keeper has it in his hands. Not much trouble for him. We see that they're trying to do more of a build-up play. MSOE not really looking to send any through balls that are way too long. And when they do, it has now gone out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Juan Moresco has the ball. Look to have open up players like Bernardo Delgado. Seems to be a push over on the senior from Concordia. Giovanni Velasquez is going to look to send a long ball, but his teammates are asking for him to just play it close. Seems to be some space, try to give a through ball, but didn't really quite understand his teammate. Moving forward with the ball, MSOE, they lose possession, and now Justin Ocampo tries to get through three players. Loses possession as well. Now the goalkeeper calmly trying to get his players to understand what he's trying to convey with this team. It's a long through ball. I believe they're going to be offside, but this could be an opportunity for MSOE. No, it is not. It is offside. That was a bit of a scare for Nathan Guriel, but it all ended up being a positive thing for the Cougars. Long ball over to the wing where you see Caleb Kale not being able to get to it. Here comes MSOE with the pass over to the left side. They're a team that really tries to look for the wings as their options. This could be a great opportunity for them. It's now Tanner Celio sends the through ball. It could be a cross. Fortunately, the defense has been absolutely rock solid back there.
Yeah, it seems like MSOE keeps trying to find the wing, trying to find that out ball just to create a stumble upon the defense for Concordia.
Something that I'd really like to see a little bit more of is a couple more shots, a couple more opportunities to maybe test the keeper. It could be a cross. It's an opportunity. It's gonna take a shot, but the defender blocks it. It's fantastic defense. There's really no space. But like I said, I want to see a little bit more of those shots. It'll be interesting to see if they can get one through on goal. Either sides are really, really putting a lot of effort. Now it'll be the ball for the Cougars. Waiting for his players to open up to really have an opportunity to send a through ball. It's a really long ball. Will he get on it? No, the defender gets his head on it first. Now they look to control the game a little bit more.
They're going to try to play out wide.
Yeah, that's something that I had noticed. MSOE is a team that really tries to go for the wings and for the crosses. Probably their strength in most of their games. Opportunity cleanly taken off with his body. Looking to send. Didn't see anybody. Sends it to his defender over there with Chase Freya. Back to Peter Yale.
Especially with CUC's compact defense that only gives MOC the option of playing out wide. So that is why they continue doing it. But CUC has been a great job just defending that and not letting them have any opportunities on goal.
Yeah, it seems to be that the Cougars have really neutralized any possibility of going down the middle. So the only option that MSOE has is trying to get them down the wing, get a cross in, and then eventually maybe get somebody to tip it in, maybe an own goal, something that is unexpected. Peter Yale sends the through ball. This could be an opportunity. There's nobody there. It's one-on-one with the keeper. He takes him off. It's an opportunity for a score. Oh, and he misses. Unbelievable scenes in front of goal. Only one defender left, and he has missed a wide-open chance. That is going to be one of the most important chances that MSOE has this match, and they really can't afford to miss out on those opportunities because the Cougars at any moment could send a long through ball, and they have very good technical players. And those technical players will not miss. What are your opinions, Reagan, on that last goal-scoring opportunity missed right there?
I think that could have been an easy way to definitely get on top of CUC, but I think with Isaac Hernandez being there and applying pressure, he did a great job, and obviously that didn't lead to a goal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic through ball, and Nathan Guriel actually came out correctly, but the forward really did get over him, and I really don't understand how he missed it. He had a wide open net. I understand that there was a defender in the back, but you cannot miss those at this collegiate level. It's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars.
And also with missing that shot, that allows the CUC defense to see how they're playing and what they're trying to play to make sure that next time they don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, the Cougars are going to have to really, really lock into those long through balls from all the way from defense, because even though they do a great job in the one-on-ones, the long through balls are really, really something that they started struggling in this game with. It's going to be Juan Moresco controlling the game, looking for options. Now Gio Velasquez stumbling a little bit. Now there's going to be a counterattack from MSOE. It's going to be Juan Pablo Escobar with the ball. He looks for a through ball. Now it's over for Ditar Husseini. Husseini has the cross, and it's just way too far for the forward to really get to it. Defense recovers, just clears it though. Now they've lost possession again, and it's going to be a throw-in for MSOE. Peter Yale to the goalkeeper. They really have been using their backline a lot for that transition, that movement. MSOE is a team that doesn't really play very impulsive. They play very calm, very slow, trying to look for the opportunities to show up. And I think that's going to be their strength in this match. There's going to be another through ball, and there's a mistake in defense. This could be an opportunity. Takes a shot, saved by Guriel, but it's offside.
We see quite a few offsides as they're trying to create more opportunities for themselves for MSOE.
Yeah, it's a very double-edged sword to play the offside trap, because you could do it perfectly and get a lot of those players to be offside and none of those opportunities to count. But if there's just a slight error in defense, it could cost you really big. Playing the offside trap is a very difficult thing to do. Now going back on defense, trying to look for an opportunity for another long through ball. Seems to be like a constant of this MSOE team.
You can see the runners getting ready and calling for it as he gets set into that big swing.
Yeah, this is a easy ball for Nathan Guriel. Juan Moresco on that side, he's been doing a great job with the one-on-ones. The only thing that I would say he's been struggling a little bit with is that man marking on Juan Pablo Escobar. He's a very quick player, and so is Juan Moresco, but those through balls that they keep sending him, he's struggling with that. Justin Ocampo has the ball, sends it over to the number 10. It's going to lose possession. Now looking to find someone open for the counterattack. There's going to be a mistake there, and it's an opportunity for MSOE. It's going to be a goal, and it's a goal! Unbelievable scenes here at Cougar Stadium. There was a mistake on defense, and it costed big. Like I said earlier, those long through balls, the offside trap, it's a great strategy if you can do it, but if you make one mistake, it costs you very, very big. And Usian Ditar, the man himself, scores the goal. Now the Cougars are going to try to find a way back into this game. It's not going to be easy. They haven't had too many opportunities. As a matter of fact, they haven't even had a shot on goal yet. They haven't even had any shots in general. I understand that they're trying to look for that through ball, but they need to start going forward. They need to start taking shots from afar. Otherwise, there really isn't any way back from this game. If you're not taking shots, you're not creating opportunities.
Exactly, and we just saw a change of defense for CUC.
There's another opportunity here, has it, Guriel? You're saying?
I said we just saw a change of defense for CUC. Their right back got subbed out, entered number 28, Andre Wagande.
One of the players that came over from, I believe it was Concordia Ann Arbor, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see a through ball. It's this constant opportunity, but I believe that that was a foul right there. There was a push. Now the Cougars are going to try to find any opportunities to go forward. The defense getting pressured a little bit there. Losing possession again, recovering it. It's a very interesting game of just back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be now for Juan Pablo Escobar sending a through ball. This could be an opportunity for a cross, and it is, but Nathan Gurriel has it there in his end. Sends it over to Juan Moresco. Looking for a long through ball. This could be an opportunity for them, but no. It seems to be the problem is that these defenders are really, really strong players, and they do not allow any through balls to get to our players.
It also seems like they're playing with only one up front or less numbers, so it's hard for them to get numbers up if that's their goal.
Yeah, in the beginning of the match, I mentioned that they're playing in a very defensive style, and I don't really understand why, considering it's very early on in the game. We're barely a couple minutes in, about 20 minutes in. There's still an entire game left, and if you're not looking for goal-scoring opportunities, what is the strategy of play in this? It's cleared, but over to a corner. And MSOE are leading with shots, 7 shots to 0. It's really starting to become a worrying thing for the Cougars that a team is really dominating by this much in the first few minutes. It's going to be a cross in. An opportunity, and it almost was a goal. I believe that there was a hand on it by Gurriel, but the ref seems to think otherwise. It might have been just off the crossbar. Gurriel waiting for his players to get into position, to open up. There's going to be a few subs for MSOE. Braden Smith coming in for Juan Pablo Escobar, one of those players that has done a great job in this first 21 minutes or so. Cougars losing the ball, and this could be an opportunity. Nathan Gurriel, oh, and it's a goal! Unbelievable finish. Just curling it into the back of the net. Nathan Gurriel was not able to do anything, and that's something that the Cougars have to worry about. The defense is really struggling in this moment. They started off really well, but there's just this, I think after the first goal, the concentration isn't there. They lost possession in a very dangerous spot, and it cost them, again, very big. 2 goals in the first couple of minutes, first 20-something minutes or so.
It seems to be like they can't play with it much in the back, or else MSOE is going to take advantage and use that in their way.
There seems to be a lack of ball control in defense currently, and a lack of communication as well, which is going to be important if the Cougars really want to get back into this game. It's going to be a throw-in for MSOE. It's been cleared by Gio Velasquez, doing a fantastic job to try to get a little bit of that strength that they had in the first few minutes back. Justin Ocampo pressures. We'll say the goalkeeper for MSOE has really had nothing to worry about this whole entire first part of the first half. It's an opportunity, and it's going to be another one, and it's offside. But we've seen this happen already 4 times. One of the goals was missed. This one was disallowed, and then the other 2 were scored. I really don't see how Coach Callahan is not really yelling at his players right now. There seems to be a lot of issues with the concentration in defense.
Although it does seem to be he is coaching on the sideline. So maybe he is teaching them and telling them what to do as they go in for the subs.
There might be a few subs in a couple minutes. He is talking to one of the players, and yeah, he's actually heading over to the middle. He's going to be subbed on soon. It's going to be down the wing, looking for an opportunity to cross. Open opportunity, and Nathan Guriel gets his hand on it. It seems to be a foul or an offside, mostly an offside. It's a very difficult game for the Cougars right now. They're going to really need to push forward because getting past that midfield is what they've been struggling with the most. Nathan Guriel tries to send a long ball to get an opportunity. Michael Senesi with the ball gets fouled, gets pushed over. Now it's going to be ball for the Cougars. Caleb Kale goes over to the wing, try to find an opportunity. Giovanni Velasquez sends a through ball over to Caleb Kale. And it's been cleared by the MSOE defender. A lot of pressure on the defense right there. But like I said in the first few minutes, MSOE really uses their backline a lot to make those moves, those transitions. They play very calm. There's an opportunity, a through ball. Will this be a cross? Will he take a shot? What will it be? And it's a shot, but it's just off target, and it's going to be I believe that went out. If not, then this could be another opportunity for MSOE to cross the ball. Send it into the box. Going down the wing. Good from the defender, but the ball is still not out. And it is, actually. The ball went over the line.
Yeah, with CUC not pressuring as much on their MSOE's defensive, they're kind of using that as a way to see where their forwards are going and using that to find opportunities up front for MSOE.
Yeah, we're going to see a couple of subs. It's going to be a couple of subs from both ends. I believe that the Cougars need it the most, and we'll see what they can cook up in these last, 19 minutes. There's still quite a lot of time, but there really doesn't seem to be any goal-scoring opportunities from the Cougars. 0 shots still. And over by MSOE, 9 shots in total, 4 of them on target. 2 of them ended up in a goal. Here's an opportunity for Kale. Sends a long ball, but it's just way too much. It'll be now a goal kick for MSOE, and they will regain possession. It really doesn't make a difference if you can contain the possession, if you can maintain all of those minutes with the ball, if you really don't take shots or go up or push forward. And the Cougars, even when they gain possession, it doesn't seem like they're really any threat to MSOE in these first few parts of the first half.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle going forward and maintaining that position.
Clears the ball. That was a very dangerous play. And now it's going down the wing, and this could be another opportunity for MSOE. He's going down the wing. He's on his own. Great tackle and the ball will be going out for a corner. MSOE looking to send everyone into the box. They want to finish this game off really early on. Cougars are really trying to stay in the game. Going to be the cross. Goal scoring opportunity. It's a header, and Goudiel gets his hand on it, but it goes out. Amazing save by Goudiel. I believe that would be his third save of the game. Goudiel's one of those players that can really use his height to an advantage for both getting to the ball in the air and on the ground. It's going to be a cross. It's going to be cleared by the Cougars defense. Be a throw in for MSOE. 10 shots from the visiting side, 0 shots from the Cougars, and we are already more than 24 minutes in. This is a crossing opportunity, but does well to get on it. Juan Moresco clearing it for a corner. Doesn't want to get in any trouble or put his goalkeeper in any trouble. It's going to be another corner for MSOE. It's going to send the cross. And Goudiel gets a hand on it, but it's still in. It hasn't gone out. It's been a cross. It's an opportunity. Goudiel tries to get on it, but it goes over the goal. It'll be looking to have any options for his players. There is going to be a couple subs from the visiting side. A lot of changing of players over by MSOE. It's going to be a very difficult thing to read this game if they're constantly subbing in and subbing out players, because you get used to who you're going to mark, their abilities, their style of play, and then if they're constantly switching and changing, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Looking for a long through ball, gets over on it, and it's going to be for Cougars, but the defender from MSOE gets there first. Doesn't lose possession. Now they have, and they've regained it. This could be an opportunity for a counterattack. Goes over to the wing. Waiting for an opportunity to send it to one of his players. They do a wall there. Takes a shot, but no problem for Nathan Goudiel.
He's done a great job being able to track the ball and just being there when he could.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. I think when it comes to who has really stood out in this game, which is not normally the greatest of things, is the goalkeeper. If your goalkeeper is your best player so far, it's not a good sign for the team, but it is a good sign that your goalkeeper has the confidence. Well, there's a field goal. And it's going to be a corner now. It's going to be, I believe, the 5th corner for MSOE, and the Cougars are yet to have a corner, to have a goal-scoring opportunity. Sends the cross in. Nobody wins the header. It's bouncing in the area. It's now cleared. MSOE running back to recover the ball, but there's pressure on the defender. However, now they're running down the wing. There is an opportunity for those through balls. The player dribbles into the box, and this is an opportunity to cross, and it goes out. Reagan, I want to ask, what do you think the strategy for this game is, considering that we haven't seen any chances, any clear opportunities for the Cougars? And it's not that they haven't been able to get through. It's more that they really don't have an idea of how to get through.
No, yeah, definitely. I think that from their back line, there's a lot of little mistakes that need to be fixed, especially with the last 2 goals. And with the offensive side, it seems like they're not playing as many numbers up top and more so like playing like a line of confrontation. So that's definitely hard when we get up top and are looking for opportunities to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's going to be a throw-in. You know, throw-ins are always one that you can use to your advantage if you can send them long into the box. I believe that they are a little bit even more dangerous when you can send them into the box than a corner, because you don't expect a player to be able to send it that far with his hand. It's going to be another corner for the visiting side of Milwaukee. He whips it in. And Guriel does great to get his hand on it, and it's been another shot deflected, and it's going to be another corner. "11 minutes left, and the Cougars are still fighting to try to retain this result before halftime. It's going to be another cross. Seems to be a little bit of a disagreement in the box with the players. He's going to whip it in. It's going to be an opportunity. Nathan Guriel almost makes a mistake, but he just gets, I don't believe that he got a touch on it, and neither does the ref, but that was a very dangerous opportunity. Giovanni Velasquez confronting the ref. Seems to think that there was probably something that happened within that corner that he didn't really like. Giovanni Velasquez with the ball. Tries to send a long through ball, but the defenders are there to get their head on it. Fantastic turn. But now they've lost possession, and now it's the Cougars' ball. Going to look to go down the wing. This could be a great opportunity, but they're just overcrowded with players from MSOE. It's going to probably be one of the first opportunities that they have to be in MSOE's half. Sends the throw in. It's going to be another throw in. Going to try to look for mistakes somewhere there to take a shot. Ball bouncing in the area. Now it's going to be an opportunity for a counter, but the defender does well to get back. And it's a foul. I think they should really, really use this opportunity to get everybody inside the box, send a long through ball. They have the ability to send it all the way into the area. And they do have a couple of tall players, Gio Velasquez being one that has an amazing ability to head the ball. Comes the cross in, doesn't really get to it. This could be a dangerous one, but Juan Moresco gets on it. Bit of a miscommunication there. Now there's a counterattack, and the Cougars are trying to get back to recover. Nathan Guriel gets on it first, and there's a foul. Not much to worry about for Nathan Gutiel in that play. Juan Moresco has it. Over to send the long ball. Gio Velasquez covering the ball, looking for an opportunity, looking for options. Jesus Badillo doesn't want to get in any trouble, sends it back to Gutiel. Gutiel back to Jesus Badillo. MSOE recover the ball. They're going down the wing. This could be another opportunity for a cross. And it is, but it's just wide. Now it'll be a throw in for the Cougars. Juan Moresco looking for opportunities to send it forward to make a run. There's a foul. Six minutes left. Not much time for the Cougars to really get back into the game.
We see a lot of fouls on the play, so I think they need to use those as their advantage to get forward.
Yeah, they have been getting a lot of fouls. They have been getting pushed around a lot. So if they can use those crosses, those long balls during those fouls to get an opportunity, to get just a mistake from the MSOE defense, I think that would be vital for them before the first half. Going into the second half, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different strategy from both teams, and you kind of have to readapt to how they're going to play. It's going to be an opportunity here. Sends it over to Juan Moresco. Juan Moresco lets it go out. It hadn't gone. Went out by. It's going to be an opportunity to shoot. Dribbles through one, dribbles through another one. It's been blocked. And now it's going to be the Cougars' ball. Juan Moresco sending a long through ball. But again, we're not winning those long balls that we keep sending forward. It's a constant of sending it, hoping that somebody's going to get on it. But the defense of MSOE is just absolutely rock solid back there.
Yeah, especially with them being much taller than our forwards, it creates a challenge in the air for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a cross. An opportunity, and Nathan Gutiel gets on it. Sends it long. Try to surprise the opposing team, but doesn't quite get it to the player that he wanted to. See the attack with Caleb Kale, Roman Klosic, and Matthew LeBoy. They've been trying, but they really haven't been able to get through that defense. Looking for opportunity to send it through, and Nathan Gutiel gets it. Sends it over to Caleb Kale. With that speed, sends it, but not quite to where he wanted. It's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. Badillo tries to keep it in, loses possession. Now once again, it's a counterattack for MSOE. They really like to recover and immediately go and try to get that counterattack. When they have to, they'll play calmly. But if they see an opportunity when the team that they're facing is not really focused, they will go full on forward at full speed. And it's unbelievable that this team has this much endurance, this much stamina.
Yeah, they've done a great job. They're constantly going up and looking for more opportunities each and every time.
This would be their third win in a row for MSOE. They had lost 2 games before that, but they've overall won a total of 4 games, this one being in their 5th match that they could possibly take a win home. Looking for the opportunity to send a through ball. They're dribbling down the line. This could have been a foul. Takes the shot, and it's saved by Guriel.
As mentioned, they're coming off a winning versus Dominican as they entered the conference.
They beat Dominican 3-0. Let's hope that they don't do the same or worse to us. I still believe that this Cougar team, if they really, really change up their approach to how they're facing MSOE's defense, they can get back into the game, at least an equalizer.
Definitely, we've seen them take, in other past games, advantage of the other team's weaknesses and put the ball in the back of the net.
It's a very good and technical team. This is something that Coach Callahan always has, focused a lot on. The technical ability of these players is a major, major thing for him. If you don't have that technical ability, you hardly will get into his team. And all of these players have that speed, have that control. It just requires them to really communicate a lot more. Sends a long through ball. Doesn't quite get control. Juan Maresco looking to send it forward. Now it's going to be a throw in for the Cougars. Looks over for Roman. Close it. Now it's going to be the loss of possession there. This could be a great opportunity. Who will win in speed? There will be a cross. Will he control it enough to take the shot? And it's a shot, and Nathan Guriel saves it again. Unbelievable performance from the CUC goalkeeper. I believe the ref doesn't think he got a hand on it. I think he barely scraped it. Otherwise, that would have been going more towards the goal than not. Comes another opportunity for the Cougars. They just have to get one shot on goal in this half. And it won't happen. The first half ends, ladies and gentlemen. Cougars 0, MSOE 2. What are your thoughts, Reagan?
I think obviously there needs to be a change in formation or just a change in what they're trying to do for CUC, but MSOE on the other hand is playing great to their abilities. We just need to see what happens in the next half.
Yeah, it's very difficult to really grade this first half for the Cougars, given that they've done okay in the midfield. They just don't press high enough. They don't pressure. And 0 shots on target is bad, but 0 shots overall in the whole entire first half is much worse, given the fact that MSOE, 17 total shots, 7 of them on target. Nathan Guriel has had to really save his team today, 5 total saves, and all of them were very, very clear chances. The goals, well, I mean, very early on, and just the same thing we mentioned when it comes to the offside trap. It's a double-bladed sword. You either know how to play it or you don't, and it really cost the Cougars a lot. Anyway, thank you. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in this game in Cougar Stadium, MSOE versus the Concordia Cougars. We're about to go into the match. Second half, 2-0 for MSOE. I am joined here by Reagan Espinoza Suarez, and we are on our way to the second half of this match. MSOE looking to expand their lead in this second half. Hopefully the Cougars can find an opportunity to score. Looking to go down the wing and exploit their abilities in terms of pace and dribbling. Reagan Espinoza, what are you hoping to see in this second half?
Definitely more opportunities for CUC, especially because we need to get some numbers on the board. So I'm looking to see different things and creativity on the ball up top.
Absolutely. I really want to see this CUC team really push more, really have this enthusiasm to pressure the defenders. Right now, we're not really seeing that, but let's hope that they start to do it as the second half goes on, because even though there's still a lot of the game left, I believe they have a pretty good depth on their bench in order to recover some players. Cougars try to regain possession. This is an amazing opportunity, but now MSOE with the ball, going back on defense. Not really known for being too hasty about going forward. It's an opportunity to cross, and the defender for the Cougars has it there, no problem. Trying to find a way to get out of that very tight space over on the left side. Now moving the ball over to Wiley Wright. Wright sends it over. Looking for any open opportunities to go forward. Over to Aranda. Aranda to Wright. Right over to Rarman. Cougars recover the ball. And now it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. Anybody opening up there? Gio Velasquez. Covering the balls. The cross is sent through. This could be an opportunity for Justin Ocampo. Loses the ball. And now we have a counterattack from MSOE. Now nobody really up top to help them out. Now they're recovering up. Have an opportunity to send the cross in. But the defender's there well. Going now on another counterattack. In this game, we've seen a lot of that, just recovery, counterattack, recovery, counterattack. It's a constant from both teams. However, MSOE has been able to get deeper into the half of the Cougars, while the Cougars are still struggling to find at least one opportunity to take a shot. This could be a great opportunity. Takes the shot, and it's saved by Nathan Gurriel. The goalkeeper of the moment, the man who has saved us 6 times this game. Now the Cougars looking to respond going forward. Sending it back to his goalkeeper. MSOE tries to take control of the game. It's going to be a through ball, but doesn't quite get it correctly. Leave that ball still in. Here comes Michael Sinise. And it's been sent over to the corner. It's going to be the first corner, I believe, for the Cougars.
Yeah, and I think that's what they need to continue doing. Michael Sinise, he does a great job on the outside and using his speed as a strength for CUC.
Yeah, he's one of those players that has that incredible technical ability, that incredible speed, and I hope he can exploit it during this game. We're about to see a corner and see if anyone can get ahead on it. And it don't. Takes the shot, and it's saved. The first shot for the Cougars, and it's actually on target. Now there's going to be a counterattack. We're going to hope that Giovanni Lechuga locks him down. Daniel Gutierrez sends the cross in, and it'll be a easy one for Nathan Guriel.
Yeah, CUC did a great job delaying the play in that moment.
Yeah, it's the Cougars have that ability to really, really take control of the match. They just need to stop making those small mistakes like this one. Could be an opportunity for a goal and goes wide. Absolutely wide, but like I said, it's just those little mistakes that cost them big. They really, really have to work on not just sending the pass. They have to look up before they send the pass as well, because there's players who are really quick who can get to you even faster than you can even think. Sends a long ball. Now it's recovered by MSOE. It's going to be won by MSOE, but I believe that is out. It's not, and it goes in. And it's a goal. Is it? Doesn't seem to be like one. The ball had already left the field, and thank goodness for the Cougars, because otherwise that would have been the third goal of the match. Looking for who's open. Justin gets ahead on it. Doesn't find a player. The pressure's on. Gio Velasquez tries to recover the ball. Fantastic tackle, but MSOE continues to have possession of the ball. Moving it quick down the wing, trying to open up. Juan Moresco doing a fantastic job during this entire game. Now this could be an opportunity. And there was a bit of a miscommunication. Guriel has to dive or do whatever he can in order to keep that ball from going out, but it still goes out. What do you think, Reagan, on these first few minutes of this second half?
I think the defense has been doing a good job kind of delaying the plays and blocking, but I also think that they're still struggling with those little mistakes as playing back when the goalie's not looking, or just overall like not getting it off their foot, which MOC has been countering and being able to take that in their advantage.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very, very important opportunity for MSOE, but the Cougars have to find a way to get ahead on it. And I believe there was a foul that does not count. And regardless if it counts or not, the fact that we didn't win that ball as well is something that the Cougars have to be worried about. It's not a team of very, very tall players, but regardless of that, locking down all those attackers when it comes to a corner, it's very vital. Set pieces are a very difficult thing to really prepare for, because you don't know, every single team has a different strategy for how they take set pieces. However, you have to be able to understand during the game that letting one player loose, letting one player free can end up in a goal.
Yeah, especially for this match, it seems like they're being able to take those advantage and being able to, put the ball in the back of the net at this point.
It's going to be a free kick for the Cougars. Gio looking to find someone in an open space. Sends it close to try to build up the play. Castañeda over to Guriel. Guriel sends it long. But MSOE now has possession of the ball. I don't think those long balls are really going to help the Cougars.
Yeah, but on the flip side, we also see how CUC has, they're kind of pressuring a little more than they did last half.
One thing that I do notice about MSOE's defense is even when the Cougars are trying to find a long ball, even when they're trying to send a through long ball, they don't press on their on the players that they have to mark. They stay back because if they send a long ball and you just stay back, you're going to eventually receive it. As opposed to trying to win it over from the attacker, you could possibly not get the ball, and then there will be a goal-scoring opportunity for the Cougars. Possibility to cross, but it was a clean tackle. Sending it through to their tag, looking for an opportunity to put the third one in the coffin. Don't believe that was a foul. That was a clean play right there. Sends it long, but I don't think that was the correct option. Caleb completely wide open. Now Gio sends it back, sending it over to Bernardo Delgado. Gonna look to recover the ball. In those throw-ins, you really can't afford to lose possession like that. If you have a throw-in, you have possession, just send it to someone in the back line. Look to build up the play from there. Because if you constantly just send it forward, knowing that you're not going to win the ball, it's really a wasted opportunity. And it's not only a wasted opportunity, it's also wasted possession.
Yeah, like you said, MSOE just did exactly what you think is the better option, playing it back and maintaining possession.
Yeah, it's a constant throughout the entire game. They're a very organized team. And this could be another opportunity for MSOE. Now here with Aranda with the cross. Is he going to cross it? Is he going to take on the player? Sends it back. Takes a shot, and it's been blocked by the defender. Now there's another opportunity. Just kind of scoops it up. But the Cougars can't seem to regain possession, even though the ball is bouncing all over the place. Here's a through ball. This could be a nice little cross, but it's been blocked, and now the Cougars finally regain possession. They're going to try to look forward and find a counterattack, but it's just way too long. And I think it's safe to say that this strategy of just sending long balls has to be put to rest, because otherwise we're going to end this game with just one shot in the entire match.
Yeah, it's definitely not CUC's strength just playing those long balls up in the air, because whenever they do, we seem to lose it.
I don't understand if perhaps this has worked in the past. There's a shot, but Guriel is there. Doesn't seem to be too worried about that one. 20 shots from MSOE in the entire match. 8 of them on target. 6 saves from Guriel. 1 shot from us, from the Cougars. Here's an opportunity, but now the Cougars have recovered the ball, looking for anyone, but there's nobody there. He's really stuck in that corner. Now it's a foul, and it's MSOE's ball. Sends across. Guriel gets on it. Sends it long over to Caleb. Delgado wide open on the side. Sends a long ball. Will he get to it? I don't think he will. And the defender just covers it before he can get to it. Now I believe that will be a throw-in for the visiting side. Another throw-in. Looking over for Justin Ocampo, one of the players that this team looks to build its idea around. MSOE trying to find any open space to finish off the game. There's only 29 minutes left, and this seems to be a very one-sided match.
We seem to be seeing a little more of the CUC's offense this half, so I think that's a good sign going in the right direction. We just need to be able to create more opportunities and get shots on the net.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to get a shot on goal when there really isn't any play that has gone past the middle of the field for the Cougars. I mean, it's very difficult to get up there. They've had a couple of corners, just one corner the entire game, and didn't really plan out. It didn't really pan out the way they wanted it to be. Sends a long ball. Who will win it? It's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in for the Cougars. It's going to be a...
No, yeah, especially with number 28 from CUC, Wang Ondu, coming in as a sub. He's been doing a great job in just being able to apply pressure on MSOE's side and not allow many options.
Yeah, he's one of those players that has a lot of experience. He really already understands what it is like to play at this collegiate level. One of the more confident players in defense, and he's had a couple of really good tackles. It's an opportunity here, but he loses it. Now Justin Ocampo looking to go forward and create a goal-scoring opportunity. Giovanni Velasquez back to Justin. Justin Ocampo down the wing. Gets tangled up too much. The pressure's on from even the defender. I will say I do start to see a little bit more pressure from the Cougars. That is always a positive sign. I just don't know if it's a little bit too late for them, considering that there's only 27 minutes left. And by this time, a lot of the players are a little bit fatigued. They're a little bit, ready to go into the last minutes of the game. 2-0, one shot. Not a great look, but there's still chance. There's always chance in the end as long as there's time. And 27 minutes might not be too much, but it's definitely enough to get an equalizer. Justin Ocampo headers it, but now it's a foul. MSOE. Now the Cougars looking for an opportunity. Gio Velasquez sends it over to the wing, but now there's a foul there, but it's not called because they still have possession over by MSOE. Guriel. Seems to be an injury. I don't know if it was really that bad, if it's going to require a sub or medical attention. Reagan, tell me which one of these players besides the goalkeeper do you think has had the best game so far?
Like I mentioned, Andre Wagandu has played an exceptional game. I mean, as soon as he came on, he just seemed to be an example for the team and just get to every ball he possibly can and defend. He had a couple block shots, and that just really stands out to me in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's really, really settled into that position. I think he, as a matter of fact, I probably should have started. He's one of those players that you can always rely on because of his experience. Another one that I really like how he's been playing. He's had a couple mistakes in the beginning of the match, but he really has recovered and has done well, is Juan Moresco. He actually scored last game and has had a pretty good season overall. Cougars a little bit frustrated because they can't find an open space. Guriel sending it over to the front line. Justin Ocampo dribbling it over to Bernardo Delgado. Over to Justin Ocampo again. Cougars trying to maintain possession as much as possible. They've noticed that regardless of how they get forward, they have to remain as much possession as possible. They try to keep it, but now they've lost it. And once again, this counter-attack style of play from MSOE looking to damage and hurt the Cougars' defense. Great opportunity to cross. Will it be a shot? And Guriel gets on it. No problem for the goalkeeper from CUC. Nathan Guriel, standing at 6'1", from Chicago, Illinois. Sends it long. Now looking to win the header. Caleb Kale over to Wangandu. That'll be Castañeda. Castañeda sends a long ball. Cenis. He gets fouled, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity for the Cougars. They don't get too many of these, but this is going to be key if they want to get back into the game. 23 minutes left. Justin Ocampo with a great touch on the ball can send it into a dangerous position for the Cougars to score their first one. Sends the ball in. Nobody wins the header from the Cougars. Caleb Kill trying to keep possession of it. Bernardo Delgado loses the ball. Wangandu trying to help out his teammates to recover that. Justin Ocampo. Now it's a counterattack for MSOE, looking over for Thomas. Thomas with the ball. He's going to take a shot. No, he tries to send it over. This is another opportunity. This could be the third one. It is! And it's MSOE scoring the third of this afternoon. Unfortunate for the Cougars. Unfortunate for Guriel, who had been having a fantastic game. Unfortunate for everyone over on our side. And MSOE has put the last nail in the coffin. Comments, Reagan?
I mean, obviously, I feel like that was a defensive error just because, like, the pass was not cleared out. But I think CUC just has to look for an opportunity to score and just improve on that aspect.
Yeah, it's a very, very unfortunate, difficult situation. It's that problem with not being concentrated on defense. You have to clear that ball. You cannot let it bounce. You cannot let them regain possession in anywhere in the box. Because, like you see, in this scenario, there was almost another mistake. This team really has to focus because right now it's 3-0, but there's still 22 minutes left, and I don't know about going I don't know about this team getting back into the game, but at least, closing that gap, maybe getting a goal or two. Comes MSOE down the wing, and it's offside. Yeah, that was an amazing goal, and that's actually his, I believe, it's his second goal for the game from Ditar Useni. Ditar Useni before this match, 2 goals, now on to his 4th. An opportunity to cross the ball, lose possession. Now Justin Ocampo has it, sends it forward. Still on the ball. Gio Velasquez sends it forward for the attackers. This could be an opportunity if they see Caleb Kale. Matthew LeBoy pressures. Ngandu once again there to recover the ball. Looking to find Caleb Kale. He does. Matthew LeBoy going forward. Caleb Kale with a fantastic tackle after he lost possession. Bit of discussion between Matthew LeBoy and the ref. It'll be a throw-in for the visiting side. It's going to be a ball for the Cougars. We're trying to recover from that 3rd goal, try to find any little bit of light in this game. Giovanni Velasquez a bit frustrated, but sends the through ball all the way forward. Will he get to it? Yes, he will. Cougars remain with the possession of the ball. Sending the ball over to Caleb Kale. Doesn't quite get it, and in the process gets hit. On the ground. Let's hope it's not anything serious, but it's really hurting a lot. It'll be another goal-scoring opportunity from this distance. It's a pretty good spot for Justin Ocampo to place it on the head of one of his attackers, probably Gio Velasquez, with the best chance of getting a head on it. Comes Justin. Ocampo to send it in. It's going to be a header, an opportunity, and it's been cleared by the MSOE defense.
We'll see another opportunity right now as they take the corner kick for CUC.
And hopefully it's 1 on target, because that would put us at 2 shots on target. And hopefully not only is it on target, but it actually goes in. This could be important. Whips it in. The goalkeeper lets it go. There's still an opportunity. Tries to send it back, but I believe he was offside on that one, and he is. Now it'll be ball for MSOE, the goalkeeper, with little to not much worries during this game. Huge difference in the amount of shots taken throughout this match. 23-1. Not something you really want to see. Well, at least not something that you really want to see if you're the person who, if you're the team that has the 1 shot. MSOE trying to get through now the very strong, solid midfield that the Cougars have. Gio Velasquez playing a lot more up top than he was earlier on, almost as a striker. You mentioned that he's usually in the center back position, and now we see him at the other side of the field, almost as a striker. This could be Cougars regain possession, send it forward. Now it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars. Tries to find the head on it. Justin Ocampo doesn't quite win it. This could be another goal-scoring opportunity. Will it be too long? Nathan Gutiel gets there before the MSOE attacker does. Does fantastic. It's going to be a sub when it comes to goalkeepers. Not that really changes anything in the game for either teams. Could be Joey Moore, the one that comes on. And Harris leaves the field. Comes MSOE looking for someone on the wing to do a bit of spark of magic. It'll be a goal kick for Nathan Gutiel. Based on what we've seen so far, what do you think that the Cougars really need to do in the next game that they have? Because based on this game, it's not really looking too positive.
I think, honestly, they need to play to their strengths, especially against a team that has similar strengths. Like, we saw, like, they're playing a lot of through balls in the air, but if you look at MSOE, they're very tall, they're aggressive, they're first to the ball. So I think, obviously, like, kind of evaluating the other team and using that as a strategy in the next game would definitely benefit them a lot.
Yeah, because it's going to be a very long season if this is how they play. I mean, they have to create chances. The goal of this entire program is to really, really be competitive. And it doesn't seem like we're really competing much. We're playing well in the midfield. It's just on attack, we really haven't had much. Lose possession again. Now it's a long one. Now Thomas here. He's going to take a shot possibly now, and it is. And it's the fourth goal of the game. Thomas scores the one that finishes it all off for the Cougars. There is absolutely nothing they can do at this point. 13 minutes left. Recovering from this would be nothing short of a miracle. Gutiel not too happy in goal. Bit frustrated how this game has turned out because the Cougars have the potential. They have the players to really do some harm to MSOE, and they just haven't been able to really get much of anything in this game. I can't really talk about too many positives on attack. I can talk about some positives over on defense. Some player like Wangandu, who's done a fantastic job. Juan Moresco and Gutiel, who's absolutely been great this whole entire game. But other than that, going forward, there's not much I can say. Any opinions, any options, anything you see in this game that really stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, besides the defense, I definitely think that is a positive, and they're working hard. It's just like their tactics and the way they're going about it isn't.
It's another goal-scoring opportunity. Will it be? and it's not. I believe it just went wide. Nathan Gurriel did not get a touch on it, but he did come out perfectly, and he put that pressure on the forward to finish. Didn't go on target, but that's another shot for MSOE and another very dangerous situation for them.
Yeah, like I was saying, they need to be more focused defensively and just kind of use that in their advantage, and also definitely creativity on top. We need to see more opportunities going for CUC.
And we're seeing an avalanche of goal-scoring opportunities for them, and it's another goal. That's the 5th one. The 5th of this evening. Absolute frustration from the Cougars. It's very, very difficult loss to take. It's very difficult to see as well, because you know that this team has worked very hard. They've given it all. It's just something isn't working, and these last few minutes, it's just been opportunity after opportunity. And MSOE is a team that just capitalizes as soon as they get the chance. The one thing I will say is, if the Cougars fight till the end, if they don't stop trying to push forward, that would be the positive of this game, that they never gave up and kept going forward.
Yeah, especially right now with MSOE having momentum towards getting those goals, they definitely need to keep trying and lock down on defense.
It's a very, very big blow to the confidence, to the morale, when you get scored on twice in just a couple of minutes, and already being 3-0 down, then 4-0 down, 5-0 down. How do you even cope with that? Comments, Reagan?
I think honestly they just need to keep working, and like I said, they need to have that lockdown on defense because they don't want to concede any more goals than they already have.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to the 5th goal, it just becomes a point of just not getting scored on anymore. Here's another goal-scoring opportunity. A 6th goal could be the one, and it and that one nearly went in. It just went straight over the crossbar, and actually, I believe it hit the field goal bar right there. It's not a good sign. It's really the Cougars are in a difficult situation here, because there's still quite some time left, 10 minutes left. And do you attack? Do you defend? Do you want to go out of this game still trying to score a goal, or do you just want to make sure that they don't score on you anymore? Who do you sub in? Who do you sub out? Because I can't point to a player that I've seen do significantly better in any way. They've all put all their hard work out there, and you can see it, and they're great players, talented players, and it just hasn't worked out today. Caleb Kale trying to keep the ball, losing possession. Giovanni Velasquez has left the field, and now it's Miguel Salamanca who enters for him, playing more of a center defensive role. It's another mistake. This could be another goal-scoring opportunity. There's a lot of space. Will it be a cross? Will it be a shot? We will see. And I believe the ball has left the field, but no. And it's another goal. It's the 6th one of the night. What can you say? What can you do at this point? It's very, very difficult to really watch. As a keeper, you really What do you think the thoughts are behind the keeper's mind right now? 6 goals already. There's still 9 minutes left, and the last 3 goals have been in the last about 7-8 minutes.
Honestly, I think he's just thinking that what can the team do defensively to not concede those goals. But I honestly think that they should be able to just kind of stop the play and delay, because MSOE has a lot of momentum right now as they currently just scored 4 goals in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think here's another goal-scoring opportunity. Could this be the 7th goal? And it almost is, just going kind of wide. There was also an opportunity right there for the other player to get a touch on it and just tap it in. Guriel has actually left the field, and now it's Chase Zizek. But at this point, I felt like Guriel just wanted this entire game to end. It's been a good day for him, like as an individual player, but not a great game for the rest of the team overall. Now here, MSOE looking to cause more damage to this already hurt Cougars team. Sends the cross in. This could be another opportunity. Chase Zizek gets on it without any problem. He looks to go forward quick. Now it's going to be over to Caleb Kale. Get on the ball. They recover. MSOE doing a fantastic job of recovering the ball. It's going straight back to attacking. Going down the wing. Will he get to a fantastic tackle? And now it goes over to a corner. That'll be the ninth corner for MSOE. And it's understandable that this team of MSOE dominates, but this would be their biggest win of the season. He whips it in. Still an opportunity here. Will he take the shot? No, it's been cleared. Like I said, 2 wins in the last 2 games. But this team has won 3-0, 2-1, 1-0, and 5-1. This would be their biggest and most successful win, 6-0. And there is still time left. And I hope that I'm incorrect, and I hope that I'm wrong. But the Cougars are in a very dangerous position to concede another one, because they're getting pressured like crazy in that defense.
Yeah, exactly. MSOE they're recognizing the breakdown between the CUC defense and using that as a way to get in and attack.
Yeah, this is, 2 years ago, takes a shot and it's a field goal. But 2 years ago, away against this same team, MSOE, the Cougars lost, I believe it was 8-0. And then that time, that the bench was not as packed. There wasn't any depth. There was about 2 players on the bench during that game. So now to see this team nearly concede the same amount of goals as that day, it's a little bit disappointing, because I don't feel that this team is this MSOE team is that incredibly superior in terms of ability. Maybe in terms of organization, that's one thing, but in terms of ability, we have pretty good players.
Yeah, definitely not. I just think they recognize the CUC strategy and using that to their advantage, and that's why they're up 6-0 currently.
Caleb Kale has left the field, and now Miguel Figueroa will be the one taking his place. Former Morning College player, hoping to make a difference in this game. Wangandu sending it back to his to his center back. A little bit of miscommunication there, but Cougars have recovered. risking a mistake. Sending the ball forward over for LeBoy. That seems to be a foul, and yes, it is. Wangandu looking for Figueroa. Figueroa trying to keep the ball in. Wangandu now. It'll be a foul for the Cougars. MSOE bit frustrated for that call. Weishar a little bit disappointed that that they called it for the Cougars. Wangandu sending the through ball. And MSOE win it again. Down the wing. MSOE looking for another opportunity. Three minutes left. And it's looking like the same thing of the entire game. Another shot, and now Zizek has it. There really isn't much to say about this entire game. I mean, it's been a difficult game for the Cougars, and saying anything other than that is pretty much, I mean, pointless. What are your thoughts on these last few minutes of the match? What do you think the Cougars are really experiencing right now through their minds?
Yeah, I just think they're experiencing MSOE coming off their momentum and putting their goals in the back of the net and just attacking. I think they're kind of thinking, what can I do to possibly stop the attack, and overall just parking the bus and being able to defend.
Yeah, at this point, parking the bus would probably be the best option, because even though I said that the team should go forward and try to find at least one goal, once you're 6-0 down, it's one goal really doesn't put a dent on the damage that's already been done. So the best you could do is just not allow any more goals. Here comes MSOE with Weishar. Ball's recovered. Looking to go forward, but you could see that fatigue already settling in. Sending it long, but it's been intercepted by the MSOE defense. Keeger tries to get through, but great tackle from LeBoy. And it's a Cougars throw-in. Minute and 44. A minute and 44 of this match, and they're making another substitution in goal. The Cougars are also making a substitution. Not really many ideas of what to do next. There's going to be a throw-in. Badillo tries to get on it, but it just escapes his feet. Now it's going to be a throw-in for MSOE. Minute and 30 left. Not much else to do. LeBoy tries to find a last-minute opportunity, but there's nobody in the box. Now we have LeBoy over on the ground. Probably just something minor. I don't think it's really too bad. Now he's jogging over to his side. A little bit over a minute left. Just watching as these final seconds of this match unfolds. There's an opportunity for them to go down the wing. This could be another cross. Takes him on. Will it be? And it's another one, but it goes wide. Not exactly sure how he missed that, but it's very, very fortunate that he did because we'd be talking about the 7th goal of this match. "33 seconds on the clock, the last play of the game. Who will have it? Seems to be that it's going to be the Cougars, but no longer having possession. It seems very unlikely. Over to the goalkeeper, just letting the seconds run down. Sends the long ball, and it's pretty much over for the Cougars, and it's pretty much over for the entire game. And the game has ended 6-0. MSOE take a very important win, a very important game in which they now have 3 wins in a row and their 5th win of the season. Also their biggest win this season so far. The Cougars go on another loss. That'll be the 6th one in a row, unfortunately. And I believe that this would be their biggest loss when it comes to, just the biggest loss. I mean, it's 6-0, not even getting a goal. 1 shot to 33 shots. Really, really horrible stats. Comments, Reagan?
I just think that CUC needs to take this game into evaluation and see what they can do next week in their other conference games.
Yeah, you never like to see the team that you played for, the team that you support, have this situation happen to them. 6-0. I've been there before. I'm sure that you've also had situations in which you've had a major loss, and even the people watching us, they know what it feels like to be absolutely devastated after a loss like this. However, they have to look forward. They have to forget about this loss when it comes to what it did to them in the morale. When it comes to the morale, the confidence, they have to find a way to reverse the situation because 6-0 is nothing short of tragic. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to this match, and see you next time.